The Shopify COO and his wife are two of the largest funders of a so-called news outlet, True North. You know, the one that just posted a podcast episode that was so bad that after I reported on it, it was removed for violating Spotify's policies. I know, Shopify, Spotify, it makes your brain hurt, but I am talking about both. See, hours after I published my report on the episode, Spotify sent me this. Quote, "Our long-standing platform rules make it clear that we do not allow content that incites violence or hatred towards a person or group of people based on characteristics associated with systemic discrimination or marginalization. Upon review, we removed this content for violating our policies." Given the aspect of their policy that they highlighted and the content of the podcast episode itself, it sounds like the episode was essentially taken down for hate speech. This is the point where I'm going to drop a warning that I'm going to be speaking about anti-Indigenous racism and residential schools, so if you need to skip this one, feel free. I'll see you next time. See, this episode from True North's Harrison Faulkner, published on The Faulkner Show, featured an interview with a man who once worked at a residential school. It not only promoted what Faulkner called the quote-unquote truth about the quote good things that came out of residential schools. At one point, the guest even described scolding kids for speaking their language and framed it as a fun, playful thing, rather than the cultural genocide that it was, a part of a larger institutional effort that included rampant abuse, neglect, and even the deaths of thousands of students who were ripped from their communities and forced to attend these schools. But here's the thing. For this kind of content to be made, unless it's just some very sick hobby, there's usually money behind it. In this case, one of the largest donors to this so-called media organization is the couple who co-founded it, Candace Malcolm and her hubby, Kaz Najadian, who is the COO of Shopify. You know, the same Shopify that's the third largest company in Canada and that many of your favorite brands use. Malcolm actually confirmed that she and the Shopify COO as a couple are, quote, one of the largest donors to True North in a statement she sent to Press Progress's Luc Lebrun. And while she stressed that Najadian has no involvement in the day-to-day operations of True North, which is interesting given his legal obligations as a board member, if he wasn't one of the largest donors, would they have the same level of resources to make stuff like this? What do you think of all this?